How's it going, everybody? I'm Clifton. This is Dalton, and this is Metal and More. Today, Dalton's going to start off with the news. Then we're going to move on from there.
That's how we do. Alright, today in Metal News, I have noticed that there has been an abundance of supergroups that have been forming all of a sudden. And, I mean, so far, the only ones I could keep up with that is almost official is two bands, both mixed with fairly great people in it. The first one, I was trying to tell y'all last week, and that is actually, the name of it is called Art of Anarchy, and if you keep mocking me, I'll punch you in the glasses. Okay, it's called Art of Anarchy, and the lead singer's name is Scott Wayland, and you already know about John Moyer and Bumblefoot. That's actually highly anticipated. I feel like it would be if people actually knew about it. So.
I think it's going to be pretty good.
Well, it's going to be better than this one, kind of, sort of. I mean, it's your opinion. But the next one, the next one that I just found out about the other day, is called Motor Sister. And it consists of Scott Ian from Anthrax.
Hey. The one good guy from Anthrax.
The one cool dude from Anthrax.
Just let it happen.
Members of the Cult. I think they got the drummer from the Cult and possibly either the bassist or the guitarist. And some members from Armored Saint. And also Meatloaf's daughter. I cannot remember her name.
Daughter of Meatloaf. Let's call it.
Daughter of Meatloaf. That's the guy that I apparently look like.
Okay, let me say something. First, I want to say that I'm really looking forward to these two bands, but I really have to wonder what Motor Sister is going to go for this time. You know, I mean, it's got Meatloaf's daughter, which means she probably grew up with ballads.
Well,
if you know anything about Meatloaf, all it is ballads.
From my opinion, it's kind of like a perfect mix. It's got the hardness, the thrash metalness that comes with Scott Ian. Then it's got the kind of glam metal-ish, not really even metal, glam rock sounding with the Cult. I haven't really heard Armored Saint before, but I feel like they're probably around where the Cult is, or right in the middle of thrash metal and that, or even softer. And then, of course, Meatloaf's daughter.
The name
Armored Saint just sounds kind of like metal.
It sounds more metal than soft.
You never know.
I just wanted to say
names can be deceiving.
But no, I really look forward to seeing that band. The Bumblefoot and all that, I don't really know, because, when you think of Bumblefoot, you don't think of Guns N' Roses. You think of Slash when you think of Guns N' Roses.
I didn't even know about Bumblefoot until I accidentally looked up a video and I was like, who is this Bumblefoot? Wait a minute, he's in Guns N' Roses?
I'm looking to see
he's actually a very talented guitarist.
I'm actually looking forward to see both of them.
But I feel like I have more faith in Art of Anarchy, not only because of the name, but because it has my... Out of the two bases of Disturbed, John Moyer is my all-time favorite. Just something about that dude, the way he plays, is just awesome. And then I've actually seen Bumblefoot perform before through videos. And I have more faith in that than I do with the one with Scotty and people from the Cult and shit like that. But anyway, moving on. Yes, I got another segment, unless you want to take over and...
Well, I'll start it off since this one is my baby. All right. Today... Well, it is my baby.
We're introducing a new segment?
Are we introducing a new segment now?
What you want to go with?
Did we really do that today? We can go from that, because that's going to be the mid-card, so people get into it.
All right.
So today,
well, I guess I can go ahead and go into my genre. I mean, his genre versus genre.
Well, I mean, it's yours today. So
but today, I'm owning this shit, because I am a huge fan of both of these genres.
Just so you know, we care about our fans. We're not jumping into this half-heartedly or haphazardly or whatever the hell you
No, we got way too much energy for that shit.
Yeah, we actually thought about this. We even went backstage before we were talking about us and being stupid and
which
joking.
Will probably be posted if you actually want to see two fucktards fucking around. Like, not really fucking around. But
hey. What happened about your fucking language, bro?
I say fuck the fucking language.
All right, let's keep going then.
Fuck censorship.
That's not what metal's about.
Genre versus genre this week is horror punk, as in the Misfits, and psychobilly, which is a genre not many people know, but I have found myself and I absolutely fell in love instantly. I fell in love with psychobilly about as fast as I fell in love with horror punk. So, what is the big difference? For most of y'all probably haven't heard Psychobilly, but the best way I can describe it is basically, if you like 50s rock and roll or anything in that era or anything, and you also love horror and all the alternative anything, Psychobilly is a good way to go. It's just they incorporate the double bass, which is amazing. I mean, I love the way it sounds. Almost every single Psychobilly song has the double bass, and it's amazing. And then Horror Punk's just got the biggest band that they could come up with, the Misfits. I can't really think of any actually off the top of my head, but the Misfits is like the hugest one. But
they also have the Fiends and all that, but
which is basically just a tribute band to the Misfits.
It is. It's kind of sad, but it is.
It's not sad. I mean, they kind of deserve it. But to do versus band versus, genre versus genre, Psychobilly actually has more bands than Horror Punk. Horror Punk isn't, it's an awesome genre. I love it to death. But Psychobilly, I just see it's way more promising. The Misfits is the most successful horror punk band to even really exist in my eyes. And Psychobilly, they have like bands called Zombie Ghost Train, Coffin Cats, Horror Pops, The Brains, Tiger Army,
Demented Argo. I'm sorry, I said
Demented Argo, Madsen. The list goes on and on. And if you really want to hear a good introduction to the double bass, those are perfect examples. So I guess, kind of in a way, success-wise, Psychobilly should actually have a rise.
It will rise. They're a younger version. They're actually younger. They're up there with.
Yeah, they're young.
They're in the progressive rock genre in itself, but they're special.
They're baby faces, but actually, legitimately. The guys from Tiger Army, they're like in their mid to late 20s.
Yeah. Also, I'm not going to disagree with you on the popularity-wise on what's going to happen with Psychobilly, but I do have to say this. When it comes to, like, horror punk, I would have to give it, when it comes to the technical standpoint and the musical standpoint, the basses, I would have to go with, Psychobilly. But I like the voices, I like the vocals more.
Then again, if you want to go performance-wise, Horror Punk has got it in the bag.
Oh, yeah. Now, performance
is insane, but with Psychobilly, not so much. The only ones who actually have, like, a crazy performance would probably have to be the Coffin Cats. And that's only because they have, like, a punk edge to them. They're, like, right in the middle.
Yep. Oh, also, you got to think the videos as well. I'd much rather watch the videos of the Misfits than any other guys.
Even though they only have a few videos, but they are amazing. I like Psychobilly videos.
Yeah, but when you think about horror punk, you think about Misfits videos, and you think of how awesome they actually
are. But yeah, that's my genre versus genre. I feel like
you did a lot better this week.
That's because I am dedicated to these two genres in particular.
That's true.
But my conclusion is, popularity-wise, I see great things coming for Psychobilly. We just need to get that genre out there. People need to check this out. It's bringing back the 50s, for the fuck's sake.
That's the truth.
And with a new edge to it, so. Alright. Now we got that done. You may go.
Oh, yes. We're incorporating a new segment this week. And guess what? It's going to be very toe-steppy-on-y and bitchy and moany and complaining because it's called Fuck You Band! The reason it's called that is because we were sitting here thinking about it. All the bands of all time that I hate with a passion. And I hate a lot of bands. And it's not because their on-stage performances suck or because their studio albums suck. No, it's because they suck in general. So, we have this new thing called Fuck You Band. And today...
Every time you say Fuck You Band, I have to do this.
That works. I like
Fuck You Band.
Yep, Fuck You Band. Ah! There we go. Anyway... Today, I'd like to start off with stepping on a lot of toes early.
Oh, yeah.
And today, I'm going to start off with...
Go ahead. And I don't make my comment.
Rock and roll is dead because I'm not in it anymore. Because, Kiss sucks. Okay? Just wanted to say that right now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Gene Simmons went off on a rampage about rock and roll is dead because Kiss and the bands that we had back in the day are just, they're not there anymore. They're all dead and dying and don't play on stage anymore. You know what, Gene Simmons? Go fuck yourself. You can go fuck yourself with everybody else and Kiss. Because they want to agree with you, probably. But that's okay. The reason I hate Kiss is because your bass riffs are too damn weak. Your on-stage performances are alright, but it kind of gets boring after a while when Gene Simmons is just gushing out blood from his tongue every single time. You're redundant as hell, and I'd much rather listen to 90s music. I'd much rather listen to Pantera, glam metal style, when Dimebag Darrell was just starting out, than listen to your bitchy, moany, redundant, complaining, horrible music. And so, what I have to say to that is, fuck you, Kiss! That is all.
He's very passionate about his hatred toward Kiss, if you haven't yet noticed.
Anyway.
I think he has some issues, but it's okay. You get to enjoy watching him.
I'm a little off in the head, you know.
But it's okay. We love him. I think. I guess we might just save that other fuck you band for next week.
No, because if you do that, then I'm gonna go off on that band. You might want to do it now.
That would be a good idea, actually.
You want me?
You're perfect for this segment.
So you want me to do the fuck you band segment? All right, so I am now on the fuck you band segment.
Yeah, the fuck you band segment is his thing because he is way better at it than I am.
I just love saying fuck you bands.
Well, now that we got the new segment out the way, how about we go to the one that we
we're gonna.
It's still our baby.
This is what spawned everything. If you didn't understand what spawned everything, this right here is what spawned it. The Big Five. Well, that and who would do better in a band, but the Big Five started it. Who would do better? Just kind of put the fire in full blaze. You know, it was the freaking, what is it called? I forgot what it's called.
The Big Four.
No, not the name. I know what it's called. The Big Four, Big Five. But anyway, damn it, what was it called? What's it called? It's something that heats up something. Incubator or whatever. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Anyway.
Okay.
If you remember the word, comment in
incinerator.
Whatever, you know? Whatever that word was.
Incinerator.
Okay. Anyway, so let's go with Big Five. And today
the decade
there you go.
is something that most of y'all and us have grown up in, and that would be the 90s.
The 90s. If you're a 90s kid, you watched SpongeBob. You watched...
No, if you're a 90s kid, you know when SpongeBob's first episode came out.
You remember SpongeBob's first episode. I do. I'm still a SpongeBob's fan.
Yeah, we may be metalheads, but we watch SpongeBob.
Yeah! If you got a problem with us, you got a problem with SpongeBob.
Okay. Shit. Well, what do we got this week?
God, we got so many fucking 90s bands, dude. Slipknot came out in the 90s. Disturbed came out in the 90s.
Pantera
fucking made awesomeness in the 90s with their new albums and stuff.
Oh, that's right. The Sickness album came out in the 90s.
Yep.
They started. That's when it all began.
I know, right? It's amazing how all our bands started in the 90s.
System of a Down.
System of a Down started in the 90s. Actually, no, they didn't. They started in... Nope. Yep.
Yeah,
nope.
they did.
They did?
They did. They just didn't get noticed until the 2000s.
Okay.
Late 90s.
Let's see, would you like to get them noticed, or would you... Let's talk about the people who got noticed in the 90s. Slipknot is my main one. They started in 95, 96. Disturbed started in like
very
97,
end of the
98.
90s.
It was like 98, 99. They came out with Sickness album.
Yeah.
Bam, boom, blah, blah, blah.
Wait a minute, did Three Inch Grass come out? No, they came out in 2000.
They were millennia babies.
Yeah. Yeah, this could be tough for me.
Actually, Pantera became huge in the 90s. Godsmack was big in the 90s. There's a lot of bands that were big in the 90s. I'm just going to stop with Godsmack.
Hinder.
Nope. Millennium.
Fuck. Like I said, I suck at this already. Hold the fuck up. Alice in Chains took off.
Alice in Chains in the 90s. Nirvana was in the 90s. All the grunge metal. Soundgarden in the 90s. Audioslave came out in the late 90s, actually.
Thank you.
Rage is actually in the 90s.
Oh, they spawned. They launched in like early 90s.
Yep, they became big later on.
Okay, so we got a good ass list.
We have a huge arsenal to go off of.
Holy fuck!
I'm gonna go ahead and start because I've had my Big Five for a while in the 90s.
Go ahead, show off your Big Five.
My Big Five's so pretty. It's all metal almost with a little bit of grunge. You know?
Yeah.
All right, first of all, I'm going to start off with my favorite band of all time. Of all time.
That's not the shirt he's wearing.
Of all time.
Of all time.
Slipknot came out in 95. Corey Taylor came in around 97. Some of the biggest albums came out in the 90s, went on to the millennium. Probably one of the biggest rock bands that are still here today. Number 1. Number 2 is going to have to be Disturbed. Their Sicknesses album in the 90s.
Damn, he's kicked on my level now.
Ass, okay?
Fuck.
If I didn't know about Disturbed, I would have known about them by the time I was like 5. So, that's just saying something. Pantera. Yeah, they came out in the 80s. They were big in the 80s, glam metal and all that. Came out in late 80s.
Actually, most people don't even know about them being in glam.
Oh, yeah.
That actually might be why Michelangelo noticed them. Yep. I just thought about that. Shit, that makes sense. Okay.
That's also in there. Pantera. One, because if you think about it, Pantera is like one of the rock gods, okay? Also, I'm putting Metallica back in the 90s.
They had a shitty 90s.
What came out in the 90s? What came out in 1991? What came out in 1991? The album was Black. It's a pretty simple name. It's called the Black Album.
I just wanted to piss you off.
1991. The Black Album came out.
Wait a minute. You can't really put them in the Big Five, though.
No, I will put them in the Big Five. Why? Because the Black Album lasted up until... It's still lasting today. So, think about it. The Black Album...
I haven't gotten mine up yet, so what do you... Okay. Is that all?
No, that's 4.
That's 4. Okay, what you got for your 5th?
My 5th one is actually a grunge band. And no, it's not Nirvana.
Is it Soundgarden?
It is Soundgarden, actually. No, it's not. It's Bush. This guy thought I was going to say Soundgarden.
I knew you were going to say Bush. I was just fucking with you.
What's wrong with this
dude,
guy?
I knew you were going to say Bush.
Okay, but Bush became really big in the 90s. The Chemicals Between Us, Machine Head, let's see, what else? They had Glycerine. Glycerine's probably one of their biggest songs. But yes, Bush is my number 5. Ironically, was surrounded by all these metal icons that just engulf 90s.
Okay. Well, let's see. I'm going to roll off that. Let's see. I will agree with Slipknot, Disturbed, and Pantera.
Okay.
But for my other 2, I would have to throw in... Fuck. It's going to have to be around with Soundgarden, Rage Against the Machine, and Audioslave. One of those 3. Yeah, fuck all those 3 in one section. But which one?
You're going to have to take one out. That's the problem. Unless you want to take one of mine out. And really, do you really want to take one of mine out?
Honestly, I hate to do it, but I would take out Soundgarden.
That's fine, actually.
Honestly, the dude from Soundgarden does way better in Audioslave. He fits perfectly. And then just Rage Against the Machine is soft-spoken.
Bulls on Parade. Just when you think of Rage, you think of Bulls on Parade.
Guerrilla Radio.
Sleep Now in the Fire. Sleep Now in the Fire, actually, definitely.
Fuck yeah.
So, yeah, that is the Big 5 for today. So, wait, hold on. We have to put ours together. I'm going to keep Slipknot, Disturbed, and Pantera. I will take out Metallica.
Okay.
And I will go ahead and put in your Audioslave and Rage Against the Machine.
I knew he would agree with me. Bro work.
Got to.
Okay.
Got to. That was a really good choice right there.
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and say this now. We still got, fucking plenty of time. I'm going to go ahead and take this time now, and since we're already on the subject, if you guys get this far in the video and actually see the Big 5, give us your Big 5. Even whether it's a decade or give us your Big 5 of a decade, and we will definitely contribute it. We'll give it some thoughts, and we'll maybe even contribute it into the next video. Who knows?
Just think we're giving a shout out.
Seriously, don't be scared to comment. We're taking anything, man.
In all honesty, you will hear a shout out today to literally prove to you that we are listening.
Yeah, I mean, we're
actually going to give 2 shout outs today, aren't we?
Yeah, because there's the one that you already know. But then we have one that's inspiring a new thing that we're gonna another thing we're gonna do.
Okay.
So yeah, but we're not quite there yet. Shall we go ahead and go into our dedications?
Do you want to go get dedication now, or do you want to go into the next?
Oh wait, well then again, there are new albums coming out.
You want to put the new out? Do you really want to do that, or do you want to go to the new segment that we're about to put in?
I guess we can go ahead and do that.
Okay, you want me to start it? Or do you want to start it?
Well, I'll introduce it and give the shout out.
Alright, go ahead.
Since you're the one who actually has an idea for what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Just so you'll know what we're talking about. The segment today, the new segment that was fan suggested. It is called Live versus Studio. And the shout out goes out to Jules Patton, a friend of mine who's been a Facebook friend of mine for a long time. And a pretty big fan of the show. So,
Wait, you didn't do it right. Jules Patton!
I'm sorry.
Hey, I got
fucked
you.
up.
I got you, bro. I fixed it.
No, actually, no, you didn't. You haven't quite reached the middle level. I have to reach the Marth level. That's
Are
like
you really about... Okay. Oh,
So,
okay.
my shout out goes out to Jules Patton for a live.
You really went kind of gory on
versus,
that. I don't really know if I can give that Eminem Marth style.
Live versus studio. So, I hope you enjoy while this fucktard tries to explain it to you. Go ahead.
Okay. So, thank you again. Jules Patton. You thought I was going to do it. Anyway, nope.
Let's do this.
Today, I'm not going to harp on Slipknot again. I wanted to, but in all honesty, I'm not going to harp on them today.
Why? What you got in mind?
I got Bring Me the Horizon on. I'm not going to lie. Bring Me the Horizon has great studio albums. I love a lot of stuff from them. Pray for Plagues, Tell Slater Not to Wash His Dick.
You just like the name of that shit.
No, I like the song too. For what is it? Stevie Wonder's Eyes Only.
Yeah.
A lot off of that album. I love that album. I love the Simple Eternal album. That is really good when they softened it up a lot. It's really good. But their own stage performances are 10 times better, actually. I mean, didn't they win a Grammy this year for that?
Fuck yeah.
They won a Grammy for it, man. For on-stage performances.
They actually got a Grammy for this time period's best performers, like best on-stage performers, right behind Slipknot, right next to Slipknot.
I'm telling you, when you think about on-stage performances, you do think of Slipknot because of how crazy their antics are.
But we gotta give some recognition to Bring Me the Horizon. They're kicking ass.
Yeah, they're kicking ass. I like where they're going. I like how they softened it up but kept a little bit of their hard side. I like how they went more metalcore than deathcore, you know?
Yeah.
So,
But
the on-stage performances is what I'm here to talk about. They have amazing on-stage performances. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't get to go see them live, go look them up on YouTube live. They are amazing. The man keeps his voice. A lot of singers who go on stage can't keep the same voice, can't scream right, can't growl right.
And you gotta be honest, being fans is gonna piss you off. You kind of want to.
You really want to hear them a lot. Yeah, the expectation gets dashed when you go on stage and see them live, and you just get like, what the fuck happened?
I mean, Metallica can do this. They actually back it up with live. I mean, Slipknot most fucking definitely. You know what I mean? How hard is it?
That's by the way, I want to point this out right now. Red Hot Chili Peppers does it as well.
Oh hell yeah!
I mean, I don't know any other band that's went on stage with just a tube sock covering their dick. You know, I mean, that gets props on its own.
Or how about just the fact that the lead singer dances around stage half the time?
And Fleet's sitting there, every single time.
No, he's not. His head's just dead.
Nah, man, you got to think if he's not doing that, then he's like, oh, you know.
Got that head rolling shit going.
I mean, that dude gets into it, man. But no. That's who I wanted to say today is Bring Me the Horizon. This will probably be up more. It might be an in and out thing like the Big Five and band versus band or genre versus genre.
It's still going to be a major thing.
It's still going to be a major thing, though. So, yeah, I'm going to say Bring Me the Horizon. Go check out their live stuff. Go check out their studio album. If you haven't heard of them, you are...
under a fucking rock.
Yes. Just going to say that right now.
Actually, you're not even under a rock. You're under the earth under that rock.
Yes. Yes, because it's really bad if you don't know them yet. All right, so on to the dedication.
Dedications. Let's see. What bands do I have this week? I have two. I'm not gonna go all like big this time. I have a band called Between the Buried and Me. A great introduction to them would actually be they have already done a cover album for like a full cover album. I think it's called Anatomy, and it's got like covers such as Cemetery Gates by Pantera. They got Us and Them by Pink Floyd, stuff like that, and they do pretty damn good for covers. And then another one I have, if you love punk or anything punk with some screaming in it, Neck Deep would be a good band for you. If you love Sum 41 but kind of wish they had a little bit more edge but can still kind of keep the softness going, Neck Deep is good for you.
All right, my dedications today, I got 2, actually. The first one is actually going to go out to the new band coming out, Motor Sister. One, because I'd love to see what happens to them. They haven't come out yet, but I'm going to give them a dedication already because I'd really love to see what happens. It's kind of funny, right? I'd really love to see what happens, and I'm going to dedicate them now. But this one's special to me, actually, because I started listening to this band after looking on Facebook and seeing somebody post on them. I don't know if they're from here or from somewhere else, but it's called Lionfight.
They're from here.
They're from here?
Yeah, I know a girl who's actually her boyfriend is the bassist.
Really? Okay. I know what you're talking about. But anyway, I can't believe that. That's awesome. But no, I actually haven't listened to a lot of their songs, but I've listened to a couple. One of my favorites is actually Fake Friend. It's an amazing song. I'd listen to it. So yeah, shout out and dedication to Lionfight. Guys, keep rocking. I hope you guys really get big, blow up, bust some asses, kick some balls, and shove dicks down throats, you know?
That's what metal is all about. Shoving dicks down throats. Well, to end the show today, we have some new albums that we want to get recognized. One of them, Faith No More, believe it or not, actually has a new album after all these years. They actually have a new album coming out. And some of you might not have heard this band. It's a really goth alternative. I haven't really even got to listen to them yet, but it's called Coal Chamber. And so, yeah, those are the 2 new albums that I have in mind that's actually coming up.
So check them out. Send us your feedback on them because we'll listen to them too, and we're
going to check them out. That's for damn sure.
We'll talk about them. And final thing, we're going to do one more shout out thing. We shouted out to Jules Patton.
Now we're going to shout out to Cameron Phil from Dublin, Ireland.
Yes, he's been giving Dalton over here a lot of information and a lot of good things to look at, a lot of inspiration as well. So we're going to give you both a shout out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for giving us your info. Thank you for giving us that segment, Jules. And
if anybody else gives us any more information, we will gladly give you a shout out. Just saying. We want your feedback. We're legit about this. This show is not just for us, it's for y'all. So, thank you for the feedback. Thank you everybody who actually watches these videos. Like I said, I say this in every video. If you watch the video and you kind of think we got a good thing going, at least like it. It'll help us out. It'll help us out to know if we're actually doing something right, not just being dumbasses on computers.
I'm about to be a dumbass on a computer before this is over.
Oh, God,
I'd like to thank this pair of pliers. I'd like to thank this bottle right here.
And I'd like to thank my mom. You're the real MVP.
Thanks, Mom!
Thanks, Mom, for giving birth
I'm
to
just
this
kidding.
head.
I know you guys probably got bored with the last segment. I think everybody kind of just died down after Fuck You Band. But, I just wanted to go ahead and say, thank you, everybody. Sorry if we bored you on the last part. Hope you watched all the way up to the last part.
Like I said, keep giving us your feedback. Maybe this will get more energetic. We're kind of like, whatever you give us, we give back. Yeah. Or if you don't give us at all, we're still going to give to you, so it doesn't matter.
Yep. But anyway,
we still want your feedback. Thank you for watching.
I'm Clifton.
And I'm Dalton.
This is Metal and More.
Thank you guys for watching. See you next week. Stay metal.